Good afternoon, everyone. This video is going to be about installation and preparing your environment to be able to follow the tutorial series. It's very important that you watch this from start to finish. We're going to need Python, some dependencies that we're going to install through Python with their pip installer. We're going to need Visual Studio Code and some extensions for Visual Studio Code, which I'll walk you through getting. If you're on Linux or Mac, I believe there's only one step you would do differently. This is for Windows, but I will point that out once we get to it. So first things first, open up your browser, go to python.org, download section. The most recent version of Python, they don't support with AlgoKit just yet. I believe someone already put in a pull request, but at the time of this video, October 8th, 2024, I'm going to be using 3.12. I'm sure at the time you're watching this video, 3.13 will be supported, so don't worry about it. You can just click download. But if you're watching this video today or 2 days from now, it might be better for you to go down here and download 3.12.7. So down here, you're going to see a Windows installer. 64-bit is recommended. Click it to open it. Before you install, please check this box. Add python.exe to path. If you do not check this box, you will probably have a lot of issues because your system will not recognize Python at root, which is bad. So we're going to select this, and above here, mine doesn't say it, but it should say run as administrator. You should tick that off as well. And then you're going to click install now. And one last thing, if you already have Python installed, if the version is not this one or the most recent version, then uninstall. The installer will give you an option to uninstall and then reinstall from scratch. While Python's downloading, we can go to Visual Studio Code. Let's see, code.visualstudio.com/download. And I'm going to get this Windows one. They have other options for Linux and Mac. Just click this. Thank you for downloading. It's going to pop up here. Click. And it's a pretty normal installation. Just accept the agreement. Hit next, next, next. And I'm going to create a desktop icon. Add to path. You should have selected. Register code as an editor for supported file types would be easier for you. And then that's going to install. Let's check on Python. Setup was successful. And if you're on Linux or Mac, while this is downloading, you can go to brew.sh for this next step. We're going to be installing AlgoKit. So brew.sh and then open up AlgoKit CLI GitHub. I believe it's this one. Algo Foundation / AlgoKit -CLI. And down here, if you search for brew, yeah. So installing using Homebrew. So if you're on Linux or Mac, you'll have to use Homebrew. And this is how you install. You would copy this into your Mac OS terminal or Linux shell prompt. There's also videos on how to install Homebrew properly if you're not sure how to use these commands. But I would assume you have some sort of terminal somewhere that you can just pull up and put this command in. Once you have Homebrew installed, you'll use this, brew install AlgoLearn Foundation /tap /AlgoKit. And then just to be safe, I would also use brew upgrade AlgoKit. And the latest version right now is like 2.4.1, I believe. If you install and it says version 1.0.1, that's a problem. You should definitely use brew upgrade AlgoKit. And if at any point you're having an issue, there's an official AlgoLearn Discord, and they have a AlgoKit channel in the Discord where you can go in and tell them what errors you're having or what issues you're having installing AlgoKit or brew, and I'm sure they'll help you out. I can't, again, follow you through this process because I'm on Windows, but that's pretty much it for Linux and Mac. Everything else would generally be the same. And we're going to go to Visual Studio Code, which is about to launch now. So this is what Visual Studio Code will look like when you open it up. We're going to go here to File on the top left, Open Folder, Desktop, right-click in the white space, New, Folder, type Test, enter, and select folder. And then you're going to see something like this. Over here, there's a paper with a plus icon. Hit plus, test.py, enter. And down here at the bottom right, you should see the version of Python you have. If not, it should say select interpreter. You can click this, and up here, just select the version of Python you just downloaded. Once this is done, go over here to extensions. It's like an L-shaped box with an offset box to the right. Click it. Type in Python Intellisense, and it'll be the first option, v2024.16.0 at least. Click install. Go back here to these two paper icons. Click into your test.py once that's finished. And you're going to click terminal up here, new terminal, and you're going to type in, and I did some of these preemptively, pip install py-algoran-sdk, and you're going to see it install a few things. Again, I already installed, so it's not going to install anything. Then you're going to type pip install algorand-python, hit enter, type in pip install aio-http, and then afterwards you're also going to install pip install python -.env. And lastly, you're going to type pip install AlgoKit. And you should get version 2.4.1, something along those lines. If you get an error here that says Microsoft C++ Visual Studio installer, not developer tools not installed, something like that, and it has a link, hold Control, and this is only if you get an error and this doesn't install successfully. Hold Control on your keyboard and click the link. It should take you here. Download build tools, and I already have this downloaded, so I'm just going to double click here. And type in your admin password if you're not on your admin account. Hit continue. Once this pops up, you'll see either install or modify. I already have this installed, but you're going to click install or modify if you already see it. And make sure in this section here, desktop and mobile, there's going to be desktop development with C++. Check this off and then hit install. And then once that's done, you can close Visual Studio Code, open it back up, delete this terminal, open a new terminal, and try pip install AlgoKit one more time, if you had that error. If not, we're good to start testing. So in your test.py, we're going to confirm that everything was installed correctly. We're going to type from Algo SDK, and you see these pop-ups. That's a good thing. It means it's recognized, the dependency for PyAlgoRand SDK. From Algo SDK dots v2 client dots algod import, so space import algod client with a capital A and capital C. So if you see these green, you hover over them. For example, if we hover over these, they say module. Hover over algod client, it should say class algod client and describe the algod client. After that, we're going to type from algokit _ utils import application client, and you can hit enter just to complete it if you see the pop-up, and hover over it, class that wraps an arc0032 app spec. It's perfect. And then lastly, we're going to type from AlgoPy import arc4 contract, and from AlgoPy dot arc4 import ABI method. And Intellisense does a bad job of recognizing things from the arc4 library of AlgoPy, as well as some things from the AlgoPy library. Excuse me. But what you can do is, if you're only using this specifically for smart contract development, there's a way for you to place the color of the squiggly lines to the color of the background. But to be honest, it's better to just deal with the squiggly lines, because you want to see squiggly lines when there are errors otherwise, not just to remove import ugly squiggly lines. So ignore this, it will happen. We're going to type class and test out our compiler. We're going to type class test contract arc4 contract colon after the open and shut parentheses def underscore underscore init underscore underscore parentheses open and shut self dash a right facing symbol, so greater than or less than, depends, as long as it looks like an arrow, none with a capital N, colon, press enter and tap pass. We're going to do the same thing one more time. Similarly, at symbol, ABI method, enter, def, test, parentheses, self, make the arrow again, dash, and the right facing, none, capital N, colon, and then we're going to type pass again. And now at the bottom here, we're going to type AlgoKit compile py, so AlgoKit space compile space py, and then the name of your file. So mine is test all lowercase .py, so I'm going to type test all lowercase .py and hit enter. And the first time you compile with AlgoKit, it takes a bit longer than usual. And we cannot have these at the top, I figured. So remove these two lines up here and only have from AlgoPy and from algopy.arc4. Hit save, Control S. Always hit Control S when you make changes to your contract. If Control S is a bit much for you, you can hit File and hit Save over here. And then you can hit the up arrow in your terminal, click in here, hit the up arrow, and you should find the same command you just typed, and hit enter again. This time we should get a successful compilation. You'll see your approval.teal, clear.teal, and arc32.json. And you've successfully installed the PyAlgoLearn SDK, the AlgoLearn-Python module, Python itself, AlgoKit, and you're done. And now you can start following the tutorial series. If you have any issues during installation, I would recommend going into the official AlgoLearn Discord. They have an AlgoKit channel, and you can ask them questions there. But for the most of you, I hope this was helpful and you're able to proceed.